Hello everyone. So the theme for this video is blue and green. Yes, today we will be making a collage painting with blues and greens. Why blues and greens? Because I'm making this as a gift. It's a gift that represents healing because blues and greens can be for healing. Now, more about the meanings of blues and greens and turquoise and teal later on in the video. So right now, let's get on with it. So this is the canvas that I'm going to be using. It's still brand new in its shrink wrap, plastic wrap, and it looks like that at the back. Okay, I'm going to lay it down on a tilt so that you won't see the reflection of the light as much. Okay, so it's a pretty cheap canvas. I paid less than $5 for this. Okay, so you see what I mean. Alright, and this is 8" by 8", which for those of us in the metric system, it's about 20 cm. Alright, so it's a square canvas and it's a thick one. You can see the thickness of the thing here. Okay, so it's pretty nice. So I'm going to rip this out of its packaging and I am going to put this on the canvas off camera, right? Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick explanation on what this design here means. This basically is the Tibetan mantra design translated and put into Chinese. So the words here are the 6 great bright mantras given to us by Avalokiteshvara, also known as Guan Yin, the goddess of mercy, and it reads Om Mani Padme Hum. Okay, so I will put a quick description of what it means up on the screen for a few seconds. You may pause it and take your time to read it and digest it. And other than that, this is a blessing that I'm putting as the basis for the painting, and it doesn't have to show. It's just I print it out and put it in the background and then cover it up, so it is there as a form of blessing for whomever receives this gift. Okay, so this is almost dry, not completely, but I can start laying down the background now. So in case anybody is wondering, what's this gray stuff on here? It's a silicone mat and it's non-stick. So you can see all the little glue bits on here. I think some of these are from my bookmaking project and some were from acrylic pouring. I was using pouring medium to seal some of my art pieces like some time ago, and I didn't get around to clean it, but it doesn't stick. Like you see, it'll peel off like that. So it's I thought about it and I thought, hey, this is a good investment because I don't have to worry about stuff sticking to my table or little glue bits that are not gonna come off. So in any case, I'm ready to lay down the next layer of the background. So I may be doing some mark making at the same time because I feel like it. So I'm gonna put my brush pen down here on the side. Basically, these are the papers that I'm going to be using, and they were specially made for this project. I've trimmed off the white parts already. So these are gonna be it. And I've already planned out what I want to do and how this is going to look like. So let's get going with it. So now all I need is to wait for the ink to dry so it wouldn't smudge when I handle the paper. Okay, the dots are dry now. So what I'm going to do is I am going to start tearing. Yeah, I just wanted to add that for this lotus with the 6 grapevine mantra, if you want, you can write the name of the person you're gifting it to, but then it'll be a personalized gift, and he or she may not be able to pass it on to someone if they want to. So that's what I was considering, and I thought, well, let's not do it. So at least if he wants, the person whom I'm giving this to, if he wants, he can gift it to someone else. If he feels like it later on. So this sheet here. Yeah, I'm not gonna put glue on the side yet because I am not ready to glue on and cut the sides yet. So I'm just gonna glue on the top, and that's it. And make sure that there are no bubbles. So I'm discovering that some of the ink is smudging, as you can tell here. So it's supposed to be waterproof, but not sure what happened there. But it's okay, make do with it. So in this case, what I just did to save it was you just, make the smudge go vertically so that it matches the rest of the striations. Alright, so now for this bottom part, I'm going to use this. And like before, I'm making use of striation, but I want it to go horizontally this time. Oh, okay. Before I paste this, I gotta let this dry because I want to do some more mark making on this thing when it's dry. So I'm gonna glue the sides now. Think about how to deal with this corner. And now we really have to let this dry. Okay, so this feels kind of dry to me now. I will have to finish this up a little bit later when I'm doing the bottom part, but I need to make more marks on this, so I'm hoping that it's dry. So this is a gold pen, the Uniball Signal gold pen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw vertical lines down following the um, borders of the paper. Okay, so that's about it. So now I just need to wait for the gold paint to dry, which shouldn't take long. Then we're gonna stick the sheet that I cut earlier on here like that. Okay, because I don't want it to smudge again. That's why I'm kind of giving it some time to dry. Okay, so while waiting for the ink on the pen to dry, I'm going to make some marks on this piece of paper that I'll be sticking on here. So, and I'm going to use my golden acrylic ink, not golden, but Dale & Rowney acrylic ink, but gold color. I haven't used this yet. I've only used the silver one, so this is the first time I'm using the gold color one, so I hope I won't be disappointed. And I'm gonna put a little bit here, and I'm gonna use this brush to make some marks on this piece of paper. Okay, so I'm prepping for printing on the cicada paper. Okay, this is cicada paper and it comes wrapped like that. It's called a cicada wing paper. Okay, and it comes in like a small tiny roll, not very expensive. I got this roll for about 8 Singapore dollars. That's including shipping. Well, slightly more than 8, maybe closer to $10. Okay, and it comes in a roll like this. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a small little sheet out, and then I'm going to stick it onto this printer paper. This is ordinary A4 size printer paper that I have it set out, and it's going to sit something like this. Okay, I'll show you full screen here. Because if I do it this way, it's a little bit too big. So I'm going to do it this way. And I just have to make sure that, the print is in this area and not going to print in the other area. Alright, so I'm going to cut a sheet out and then I'm going to stick it down. So again, this sheet has like a rough side and a smooth side, and this is the smooth side and this is the rough side. You can almost see the difference here. It's like it's not as reflective on this side, and this side is a tiny bit shinier, and you can see how transparent this is. Alright, so that's why it's called cicada wing paper. It's for calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy. So, and you can see I just cut it a small sheet that's slightly smaller than the printer paper, and then I'm going to stick it down with some tape. You can glue it down on all sides if you want. I'm pretty sure even with low-tech tape, it is going to come right off. I mean, it's not going to come off clean because the paper is so thin, but we'll see. Then, because it's so thin, I'm going to stick it down on all 4 sides. And there you have it. It's ready to be passed through the printer for printing. All right. Okay, so we're back from printing and this is the final result. So this is my main focus here. Okay, so it's a Chinese character that means peace, tranquility, and health. All right. So since it's a blessing type or a healing type of a mixed media piece of art that I'll be making, so this is what I'm going to do, and this is going to be for a future project, which I'm not going to tell you about it right now. You will see it sometimes in the future, because I had so much empty space and I didn't want to waste the paper, so I just printed it here. In case I need it, I might decide to change it at a later date to make it slightly bigger or smaller even. So that is still up in the air right now. Okay, so but in the meantime, this is it. Okay, so I'm going to work on the circle which I'm cutting for the centerpiece, and I forgot to bring that sheet of paper out. And if you are guessing that it's going to be this, yes, it is. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but before I do that, let me trim off the white edges. And I'm thinking I will do that, but I'm not sure how it will turn out. Okay, I'm gonna get my swivel knife out. Okay, let's see how this goes. I don't expect it to be perfect. If it comes out perfect, I am happy. Yes. Well, it came out almost perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to work on this. So, before I cut this out, which is an easy thing to do, I'm going to outline this in gold first. So I've decided to cut this thing out instead of tearing it out, and then I'll tear it later. Okay, I'm gonna stick this on now. Okay, so I just need to wait for this to dry before I can apply it. So we can go back to the other one now. Okay, so now we're gonna let it dry before we put the final thing down, which is this one. Okay, so this is relatively dry now, so I can put it flat. So what I just picked off was one of the thick matte medium bits. Okay, as you can see here, by using the cicada wing paper, it makes the background of this almost transparent. I say almost because you can still tell where the boundaries are for this piece of paper here with the printing, but otherwise you can see the background of this piece of paper. Okay, so I really love this effect, so maybe you can try it too. So, and because it's a bit matte, so, and this piece of paper is a bit shiny, that's why you can tell where it starts and where it stops. Okay, so in any case, I'm going to glue this down, and then I need to wait for it to dry because I intend to draw a boundary around the circle. Okay, so let's get on to it. Oh, I was going to show you something before I glue this down completely. Can you see the black lotus design there? Okay, this piece of paper here is the Japanese rice paper, and it's showing through the design underneath if it's dark enough. So you can, it's like kind of semi-translucent or semi-translucent. So that's just to show you how it's like. Now, if you catch any bubbles from the dried pieces, you can just use something sharp to poke the bubble and push everything out. Push the air bubble out so it's fine, and then just glue it down. Or just make a small little incision. That works too. So I need to wait for this to completely dry and cure before I can make my final mark on this. Okay. And right now, because it's still wet, I can't flip it around and make sure that the back is completely glued up. So we'll see. So I'm gonna let this dry first and then come back to draw a golden outline around this circle. All right, and then we can call this done and we can get on with finishing the rest of this piece of painting by sealing it with a gloss layer. Alright, so I will see you in a little bit. Okay, so this has been drying for a couple of days now. So, and off camera, I drew a golden outline around the circle. So this is complete, and I let everything dry first before I went ahead to draw the outline, and the outline is also dry. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare this for the pouring medium to go down. Okay, the reason why I'm using a pouring medium is I think it does a really good job of making everything like really shiny in a very thick layer, although it takes a really long time to dry. So we'll see. So the pouring medium will probably take about 1 or 2 days to dry for me, so that's why I'm doing it now. So I'm gonna do this to, I'm gonna kind of tape the back of this area so that the pouring medium doesn't, you know, drip on here. So we are going to be talking about some color psychology for blues and greens because this is the theme of our collage artwork today. So we're going to be talking about green first. So green is a natural color, therefore it is always associated with nature and being natural. Sounds familiar to you? Okay, so it is also associated with being fresh, clean, and healthy. All these has been used extensively in packaging of products that are marketed as being eco-friendly, natural, organic, or healthy. Now, green is also associated with tranquility and calmness. Now, I would say that only certain hues have these properties, and it's usually the lighter hues of green, like the pastel greens. So if you want your artwork to give some kind of feelings of calmness, then your pastel greens in your artwork should have a predominant pastel green color. Now, green is also associated with fertility. That's why you see there are always green colors on packages of soil products in your garden center. Now, in some cultures, green is associated with money. Okay, and one culture that I can particularly think of is the Muslim culture or the Malay culture, where during Hari Raya, their quote-unquote New Year celebration, kind of like Chinese New Year, but it's the Malay version of the Chinese New Year, so to say, and they give out green packets. Now, in Chinese New Year, usually people hand out red packets with money inside. So for the Malay version, which is Hari Raya, in the Muslim culture, they give out green packets with money inside. Also, I know in America, cash, your printed money, is referred to as greenbacks. Okay? So green is also associated with envy and jealousy. That's why you have the phrase green with envy or green with jealousy. But I cannot tell you which shades would evoke those feelings. So if you do know what shades or what hues of green that evokes this feelings of envy and jealousy, please share with us in the comments below. And then now we'll talk about the blue color. Now, blue is most preferred by men according to color psychology. Okay, most men like blue color. It is also associated with calmness and serenity. Again, it's more keen to the lighter colors of blue, the lighter hues like pastel tones. And blue is also the most used color for offices. So if you walk into any office, and you will probably see hues of blues and grays, or a mixture of the two, like, blue gray or grayish blue kind of colors in the office. Blue is also known to increase the power of your focus. Okay, many years ago, I remember seeing on TV in a TV show called You Asked for It, and they show picture, they show a film clip of using two different colors, red and blue. So, and then they show big burly men lifting weights. So if they use the red color, the person couldn't lift the weights. And if they used blue, they could use the weights. They could lift the weights. So that is just, I don't know if there's any papers on this, but I've known this for a fact that blue does increase your focus. Try it. Blue curbs appetite. So if you ever want to lose weight, eat from a blue plate, like a fully blue plate. Okay, but that's just a suggestion. So, and I don't know if there are any papers on it because I didn't bother to go look up papers that shows this. There are some psychological research that does with blue light, but not with curbing appetite, but about sleep-wake cycles. Okay, so I'm not going to go that much into it. Now, blue is also associated with water and peace. Now, this can be seen in a flag. I don't remember which flag it is. Whose flag was it, or which flag was it? That the flag was totally white with a blue dove on it, and it's supposed to be a symbol of peace. I can't remember the flag name for it. Where did I see this flag? Okay, maybe it's a United Nations flag. I don't remember. Okay, so now we go on to talk about the spiritual aspects of blue and green. Okay, so green is the color of the heart chakra. It is also linked to compassion, acceptance, and sincerity because it is associated with the heart. Okay? Now, the heart chakra's action phrase is I love. Now, green is also associated with healing energy. And that's why I'm using green in this painting. Okay? And according to my teacher who taught me feng shui, the apple green hue improves wisdom. And green is the color for wood energy in feng shui, and it represents growth. And the sector for green is the east sector, which incidentally is the sector for the eldest son in the family. Now we're going to talk about blue. So blue is the throat chakra, which is for communication because you use your mouth to talk and therefore the throat is involved. Okay, so it's for inspiration, creativity, and expression. So, and the action phrase for the throat chakra is I talk. Now, the other hue of blue that is associated with a chakra is the third eye chakra. The third eye chakra, which is for clarity. So this is the indigo hue of blue, which is a darker blue, but we're not going to talk too much about that. Okay, I just thought I'd mention it in passing. Now, blue is also loosely associated with healing, because I remember my teacher once said that if your third eye ever opens, it means that surrounding you needs a huge boost of healing, and that's why your third eye chakra is opening for healing purposes. So that's why blue is associated with healing. Okay, and blue is also associated with water energy for feng shui. And water is linked to prosperity and money luck in feng shui. Okay, and that's all I have to share about the colors of blue and green. Okay, so we're not speaking strictly just blue and green. It's also hues of blue and green, which includes turquoise, teal, etc. Any hue of, combinations of blue, green, bluish green, or greenish blue, they would contain some elements of both of these things that I've just mentioned about green and blue. That's the purpose of me sharing this information with you.